Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Michelle Fondin and I'm the author of Twin Flame Romance, The Journey to Unconditional Love. All of my books are available in paperback, Kindle, and Audible books. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for subscribing below. Click on that bell, scroll up to all for all notifications, and thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. I do readings, 30, 60, and 90-minute readings. Twin Flame Romance, Life Path and Purpose. You can book that at my website, michellefondinauthor.com. Until Saturday, I am offering 11% off Twin Flame Divine Feminine Bootcamp number 1, number 2, and the meditation course. You can register at the links below, and the promo code is New Moon Taurus. Welcome to Removing Obstacles Thursdays, where we discuss an obstacle on your twin flame journey every week. Today, we're going to talk about what if other people think you are crazy? This is a very common topic because a lot of times, and I'm sure you know this, if you've checked all the boxes in my video, the 14 signs that you are a twin flame or that you've met your twin flame, and you've also viewed the 10 signs for 2021 twin flames, and you've pretty much checked all the boxes, then chances are you have already felt pretty crazy yourself. Now, perhaps you met your twin flame divine counterpart prior to really understanding this as a divine connection, as a soul connection, as a twin flame connection. Therefore, chances are you have also told many people in your life about this person. So whether you've told family members, friends, past boyfriends, girlfriends, spouses, kids, whatever it is, chances are you've told someone along your path about this person that is your twin flame. And chances are also that somewhere along the way, one or more of these people told you to stop it, stop obsessing, get rid of this person, and move on with your life. Now, if you've continued to tell these same people more stories about your twin flame divine counterpart, then chances are they have said, you are acting crazy, you need to stop, and you probably need to seek help. Now, I'm going to put down a disclaimer right here. Disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer. If you've been diagnosed with mental illness such as schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, or psychosis in the past and are being treated for said disorders, please do follow the advice of your healthcare practitioner. If you do have a family history of any mental illness, then please do dot your I's and cross your T's and do go see a psychiatrist to get any diagnosis that may rule out any of the above, because I am not a medical professional. This advice is educational only, and it is also for entertainment purposes, and I just want you to know that. I don't want you to take the advice that I'm giving out as medical or health advice, because it's obviously not. But what I do want you to know is that if you have really done your research about twin flames, soulmates, twin flame connections, divine counterpart connections, and this person that is in your life, or maybe now not in your life, maybe they've ghosted you, maybe they've blocked you, maybe they've just moved on with their life, but you continue to have the signs and synchronicities of a twin flame connection, then know that you do not need to continue to share information about your twin flame divine counterpart or about your particular situation with friends, family, colleagues, and the like. And here is why I say this. It's not to be sneaky or secretive, and it's not something to be ashamed of. I want you to know that oftentimes when we have something in our lives that we want to keep hidden, it's because we're often ashamed of it. That is absolutely, positively not the reason here for the advice that I'm about to give you. The reason is more for your own sanity and also to protect the sacredness of this connection. Truth be told, there are people out there in the world who are not on a spiritual journey yet, or maybe in this lifetime, they won't necessarily embark on a spiritual journey. Maybe they're going to save that for the next lifetime, or maybe the lifetime after that. But there are people on planet Earth who are just not destined. Their souls are not calling them to embark upon a soul journey, an awakening journey, a spiritual journey in this lifetime, or maybe 2 decades from now. It's best to meet people where they're at. And that's being respectful to them, and it's also being respectful to yourself, and it's also being respectful to your twin flame divine counterpart. Let me explain. There was an instance in the early part of my twin flame journey, very, very early on, before I truly knew that my twin flame was my twin flame. It was very early in the journey, and I had a friend, and I shared a lot of things with this friend, and I was really excited about meeting this person. I was over the moon, over the top excited because of the connection that I had with my twin flame. And I wanted to share because, of course, when good things happen in your life, you do want to share with your friends. I made the mistake of oversharing or sharing just too much about my journey with my person, with my twin flame. And what ended up happening was my friend, who was well-intentioned at the time, I'm sure, began to red flag my relationship with my twin flame. So she began to point out all the holes, all the faults, all the inconsistencies. She began to point out the flaws in his personality, even though she wasn't aware truly firsthand. It was more through the stories that I was telling. And once I really began to understand, oh my gosh, this is a sacred connection. This is the person I'm supposed to be with, and I need to protect this person and protect the connection. I soon began to regret my choice of sharing things with her. Because in the end, she did start to say things like, oh, you need to let this person go. This person's just a player. This person doesn't care about you. And I began to spin in my own head because it didn't feel right. The words that she was saying to me didn't jive with the feelings that I was feeling for my twin flame. And also the things that he was saying verbally and non-verbally to me that were leading me to believe that that wasn't the case. It wasn't necessarily true. I could really see in his eyes that he too was struggling with this connection, and that it was not for the purpose of being a player. It wasn't for the purpose of hurting me purposefully. It was just that he was about just as confused as I was about this connection. And so what had to happen was I had to cut off that friendship, because the more I was recognizing the sacred nature of the connection with my twin flame, the more I became closed and the more I felt I just couldn't share with this person, because she had already formed a very negative opinion of him. And that was the last thing that I wanted, because I wanted to protect him in that it isn't fair for someone else to formulate a negative opinion about someone based on third-party information. It wasn't even firsthand information, but this was just through the stories that I was telling. And I realized that I had created this, and I didn't want to spread more stories surrounding my twin flame and the person that he is and his character. And I was like, okay, I just need to be quiet about this, because then other people would too be judging him. And that was, again, the last thing that I wanted. Furthermore, the more that you share with other people about your twin flame journey, especially the more rare signs and synchronicities, and if these people are not on a spiritual journey, you can really sound downright crazy. And if they reflect back to you that you might be crazy or lacking some sleep, or maybe you're hormonally or chemically imbalanced, it's going to play with your head. And then you too are going to say to yourself, oh my God, maybe I really am crazy. Maybe I really am making up all of this stuff in my head. When you know, as well as I know, that if you are truly on the twin flame spiritual path, the things that occur to you on this twin flame journey cannot be made up. Like, you can't make up most of this stuff. There are some things that could cross over with just coincidences or other types of relationships, but there are other things that are so out of this world crazy that you couldn't have planned it if you tried to plan those things happening. So I think, like, in order to remain sane and just keep your own sanity, I would say you can talk to your friends and family about hundreds of other things. You don't need to talk to them about your twin flame journey. And I know it sounds like, oh my God, but I feel so lonely and I feel isolated. Well, that's what we're here for. We have a community of people here that you can discuss with. There is a community at large of twin flames that understand what you might be going through. So you are truly not alone. You can pray about it and pray to God to take away the burden as far as like the isolation, the feeling of feeling alone on this journey, and, you know, snuggle closer to your creator. And that's really a great way to do this. And the third reason I really feel that it's best to just stay quiet about it is there are friends and family members in your circle, in your inner circle, in your group, that you want to preserve those relationships. You don't want to get into fights, arguments, or try to like get into these hot debates on whether or not spiritual expansion exists, ascension exists, ascensions and symptoms exist, or soul connections exist. Because if they're truly not ready to be open to that, it's like a losing battle for you. And it's better to just focus on those positive aspects of your relationship with family and friends and colleagues, rather than trying to strong arm them into seeing what you see. The fourth reason that you want to keep this more to yourself is because when you engage a conversation with those who are not on a divine spiritual journey that includes the twin flame journey, you can get more in your ego. Because when you're really trying to prove that you're right, or you're trying to defend your twin flame or defend your twin flame's behavior, you're more in ego-based consciousness. Because when you are done having these conversations, the arguments back and forth, and then perhaps your family and friends have raised some good points, saying like, well, ghosting is not a great thing. That's totally not normal. Then you go back to your twin flame divine counterpart with that ego consciousness, and you start ripping them a new butthole, for example, because you're like, why? Yeah, why did you do this? That's horrible. That's horrible behavior. You're a horrible person. When you well know that because of the intensity of the connection, certain things happen. And I'll put my video up here on ghosting and the reason why it happens. But I just think that the more you can stay out of ego-based consciousness, the better off you're going to be in the long run. And if you start engaging family and friends in just complaining about your twin flame or about the behavior, perhaps you're complaining about the on again, off again nature of this relationship or this connection, then rest assured, if your family and friends love you, then they're going to give you all the reasons why you shouldn't be doing this, because they're trying to protect you. I don't think that many family and friends out there are some, I'm sure, but I'm sure there aren't many out there that have poor intentions for you. I think most of them are just trying to protect you or trying to look out for your highest good, not really knowing what your highest good is in this case. It's so hard to be on this journey anyway. Why add fuel to the fire? And if you have already done the damage, meaning you've told all of your family and friends or told your closest family and friends all about your twin flame, all about the twin flame journey, all about the signs and synchronicities, and you have understood that A, they don't understand, B, they've given you poor advice, or C, they've thought that you're downright crazy, you might be asking yourself, what can I do now moving forward? Well, moving forward, you can just back away from, from mentioning it again. And if your family or friends ask you about your twin flame person, you can just say, oh, well, we decided to remain friends, or, I'm just working on myself right now. I'm working on my self-love, my self-respect. I'm working on, becoming a better person, which are all true, right? Because if you're seriously doing your work as a twin flame, then you are focusing on yourself more than the other person. So I think those are all truthful responses that you can give to family and friends that you've already mentioned this to, in order to, again, preserve your sanity and also respect them if you are intending to keep a friendship/family relationship with them as well. So I hope this was helpful today. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for subscribing to my channel below. Click on that bell, scroll up to all for all notifications, and thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. Thank you for sharing this video with other twin flames, and thank you so much for supporting this channel. You can buy a book or 2 or 3. You can pledge your support on Patreon, www.patreon.com/Michelle S. Fondin, and I will see you in the next video.